Hello and welcome to episode 98 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Casey Gibson, and joining me this fine Tuesday evening, the one, the only, Mr. Perry Burkham.
What's up, Casey?
Not too much, how are you?
I probably won't be able to align that with the actual song. But I'm good. I'm good.
Are you?
I wrote a song for you.
Well, I don't want to hear it.
Good, because it's something else, I tell you what.
Is it a mega mix?
It's a mega mix.
Oh, so what's going on, Perry?
Just having a nice, busy week.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, seriously. I'm doing good, but how are you doing, Case? I know that you had a week of all weeks.
Whew, I'm exhausted, but
It's like there's 2 Neo Geo games coming out this week for you.
Well, there better be. Yeah, what a crazy weekend of bachelor party into a lot of packing and stress, but it's over now.
That
I didn't get
awful.
to play too much video game, and actually pretty much I played a little on Thursday, and then I didn't play it until last night. Barely though. Oh, dude, Atlantic City from Long Island is like a 3.5 hour drive. No traffic. It took me 7 hours on Friday night.
Why?
So, well, first and foremost, I left at a bad time. I was hoping to get out of work earlier, and I didn't get out till like 3. So I was like, I knew I was going to run into traffic around New York City. It just happens, you know. But like, and that took a while. But it was also torrential downpours, and I'm looking at my map, right, and pretty much like the whole the app, and it's, you know, when you put in your directions, it like blue means it's like you're moving fast, and then red, you know, where all the congestion is. Okay. And it's like I saw the end of the congestion, and I'm like, I'm so close. I just got to get onto that road, like in Jersey going south, and like it was like 100+ miles, but like it was all blue, you know, like I'd be in the clear, and I was 0.2 miles from that point. Okay. And we are not moving at all. And I'm like, man, there must have been an accident or something, you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, let's just get that accident cleared up, get on this sucker, and I'll be there in like an hour and a half or whatever it is, or you know, hour 45. And it'd be like, we're almost there, you know. Mm-hmm. And then finally, like, we start to move a little bit, and all of a sudden I see everyone going straight, and there's this guy running out, putting cones in front of the ramp, and it's just the ramp was flooded.
Oh, my goodness.
So what I had to do, like, I was hoping, okay, maybe I just go to like the next exit or whatever, and it'll like get me on a little. What I had to do is go to the next exit, get off the highway, go 2 miles like the other way, turn around, and come back and get like the same exit, but like I would be going in the opposite way, you know, so that other ramp wouldn't be flooded, presumably. And that took an hour. It took an hour to go 4 miles.
Oh my goodness,
dude! You couldn't believe it.
That's awful. And this was all for a bachelor party.
Yeah. And you know what? My brother and his friends left a little earlier, and like they just missed all the rain, so they got there in like a fine time. You know, like it was just like the perfect storm of like traffic and all the weather and stuff. And then it was like another 4.5 back on Sunday, and then I packed all day until like 3 in the morning. And whew.
So why did you pack till 3 in the morning?
Well, because the pod was being picked up on Monday, so it was like we need to have everything that's going in the pod Sunday night.
Oh man.
So it was like, okay, let's bang this out. So it was like.
So you had to have that whole weekend with that in front of you, like thinking about packing when you get
Honestly,
home?
I didn't think too much about the packing.
Okay, that's
I
good.
tried to block it out.
Good. No, that's good, because, that's what I would have been doing.
Well, luckily, you know, alcohol will definitely help you forget about those things. So, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was lucky, though, because I did drink quite a bit, I'd say, but I luckily did not feel bad. Like, normally you get, like, like, that's why I hate drinking, is, like, I don't want a hangover. Like, that's the worst. Like, I don't have a lot of days off, so it's like, I don't want to spend...
you had to hang under.
Yeah. So it's like one of those, I don't want to spend my day off, like, recovering for half the day and feeling like poop, you know.
Oh my goodness.
But no, I didn't feel too bad, luckily, and I got through it, and now I've got a couple weeks at my parents' house chilling, and yeah, then moved down to South Carolina.
Nothing like the good old chilling with the mom and pop.
You know what? I
in
really,
between houses.
I really don't mind. It's like
no, I know. I loved it. I had to.
Nice food all the time.
Yeah, because here's a hint to everyone: if you're buying a house, like they will never know the actual closing date, and especially if you have a house like already and you're trying to find people to rent in, like to move in, like it's gonna be impossible to have it on this. Like it was supposed to be like September sometime, like September 9th, and it was like October 10th.
Yeah,
you know, it was like a month. It's like, so we had to move in with my parents. I remember I moved in. I played Phoenix Wright. Dual Destinies on my 2DS. It was great.
I loved every minute of it.
It was great, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Luckily, I like my parents.
Yeah, I don't mind it, and it'll be good because they're selling their house now. So like, we don't know how long that will necessarily take. You know, like that could take a couple.
What if you're all
months.
just a bunch of bums without, you sell it now? We needed to leave.
Yep,
you guys can come over to my house if you want.
That'd be a long ways away from where we're going.
You'd come, stay the night, and leave?
Yeah, we'll drive over. Quick stop in Iowa.
It sounds like a plot to a great movie from the 90s.
It could be. It could be.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's just a quick stop. But
yeah,
because of that, I really don't have too much that I've played. I played a very little bit of Iconoclast, right? Is that how you say that?
Iconoclasts?
Yeah.
I think there's an S on it.
Oh, Iconoclasts?
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I don't know.
So I played a little bit of that, and then we're going to have a bunch of stuff to talk about. Nintendo released all their fiscal results for Q1 of 2018, and then we've got a little compatible segment set up, queued up for the second half because of the lack of gaming on my end, so I figured I should contribute to the show somehow.
Yep, you big gym bot.
But
I guess we can start.
Have been playing some games, right?
Yeah. Actually, I quickly reviewed a game last week. But before I get to that, I'm going to just talk more about one of my favorite games on Switch, and that is a quick bite of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. And I love this game. There's something about it that I really forgot how brilliant the whole design of this game is. I mean, the music especially, the nods that this game has to all of Nintendo, all of Mario's past. It's crazy. I mean, like for instance, like you have the whole turnips thing, like remember the first game you could play as Toad was Super Mario Bros. 2, the USA one.
Yep.
And you pick up turnips in that, and so that is part of this. There's Shy Guys, or no, is there? Yeah, there's Shy Guys, of course. There's Goombas too, but so there's kind of a big nod to Toad's past in that way.
Would you say it's a love letter to Toad?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's great. I love how they took Toad and they made him his own style of game, and there's the hammer from they have that that same from like Donkey Kong even days where you can smash stuff, and then just all the little just putting it all together, and Captain Toad is from Super Mario Galaxy, which I didn't realize, I had forgotten. I remember I played Super Mario Galaxy a couple years ago when it came out on the Wii U. And I was like, oh, it's Captain Toad. And it even has the same music and the same theme and stuff. I was like, oh, man, I didn't realize this was,
Yeah, but, it's funny. He was more popularized in 3D World. At least, that I guess maybe just because that was freshest in the mind.
And then they had, even the Scary Mansion stuff. It has, Luigi's Mansions type stuff. There's, Boo haunted houses, and you're walking around, and you have a flashlight, and you can kill the ghosts, and it's just, it even harkens to Luigi too, Mm-hmm. So I am so in love, and I'm just saying these are just little things I've noticed. That's not the reason. These are all parts of the one reason why I love this game so much. Just that the puzzle, the exploration is great. I'm really, you can hear over the past 3 weeks about my how I wasn't super impressed with the Toad, find the pixel Toad.
Oh yeah, and how you swayed.
Well, yeah, it's like, well, now it's like extremely, like, it can get extremely hard, and it's fun, and it's like, it turns in, I love this little idea of like, there's just go find him, and he could be anywhere. And so it's like, now where would they hide him? And it's like, you think, okay, I bet he's right there. Nope. Oh, I bet he's right there. Nope. And then you finally, okay, I bet he's right there. And then he's behind this painting, and you tap it and get him off. It's just, it's great. It's a great idea. It's fun. It's something so small, but so Nintendo. It's like, if you think of adding DLC to Captain Toad, they totally Nintendo'd it, because it's like, you think there'd be new levels. No, not new levels. Like it's like when the Amiibo came out, you can unlock this Find a Toad thing, which is like, twist. What? You wouldn't think it'd be really fun, but it actually is. Like, it's another added little challenge and stuff.
Yeah, it almost seemed like it might have just been a throwaway idea to sort of check the box of new content. But yeah, it's always nice when it's cool that they're able to rework what's sort of already there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, if you haven't played Captain Toad, or if you have, even if you have, I would definitely make sure you check out this game. The one thing, though, that I am disappointed with is the docked mode, and I think I touched on this last week, but like this is a game I basically have to play in handheld because of the touchscreen. Mm-hmm. I don't like the motion control thing really that much. Like, it makes it so it's not enjoyable to play. And there's lots of touchscreen elements on some of these levels are tough. There's this dragon level where, I mean, it's not hard, but it's way harder than you think it would be, where he's blowing fire at you, and you have to like get onto some platforms and then spin the wheel to turn the shield to come so that you can not get hit. And it can get pretty hard and tough, and it's just, and then like, the challenge for that level is to not get hit. It's like, oh man, this is actually like pretty tough. So difficulty's perfect. It's so charming. It's inspired. The music is inspiring to me. That's my exact. It's working its way into projects that I'm doing, and I love that. So if anyone wants to know, like, it's probably one of my favorite music games ever, to be honest.
I really should go back and play this game at some time. But
maybe I'll just send it. I'll just send it to you, dude. Or or they.
No,
you have it on Wii U. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, no, that was one I was tempted to double dip on, but if you're done on that,
it's only $40 too.
What's up?
And it's only $40, Like they priced it well. I could see it being $50 easy.
The Gamers Club down to 32 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
maybe. But if you're done on that, I do have one quick real quick bite on Octopath. Like I said, I didn't really get too much to play, but I forget if I mentioned last week that I was up to the boss of my first chapter 2. So it seems very much like I beat chapter 2, but it required for Tressa, who is the merchant, and let me tell you, man, I had to grind quite a bit to beat that boss. I think I probably could have changed up the composition of my team, but I sort of got stubborn, and I was like, no, I'm beating it with this crew. Because there's just a couple of enemies that dish out damage to everyone. So if I had like a heal all option, that would have been nice. But I have Alphin, who is the Apoc... I always forget how to say it. But anyway, he has a heal, but it's only one person. So, but I was able to do it, and now I'm going to continue on to the other chapter 2s. But yeah, I feel like the story... It's like each little chapter is pretty self-contained. At least it seems like it's like, oh, go get some story, see what's going on, do a couple little quests here and there, then sort of work your way through like a dungeon and then fight a boss, So it seems like a pretty simple formula so far for each chapter, but it's nice because, I mean, outside of the grinding, it didn't take, it's probably an hour of chapter, you know what I mean? But the grind, it added a little extra to it. But I'm going to keep playing that because I am enjoying it. But now,
absolutely,
let's get into what we've really been playing. Only 15 minutes into the show, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, you have a couple games, right? So you should probably lead us off here.
Yeah, well, I think I have just one game this week.
Oh, okay.
Besides, yeah. Well, yeah, so we're going to... Jules Watcham's going to come on the show next week. Hey, yo!
Old Jules!
And, yep, we're going to talk about Overcooked 2 and Hello Neighbor.
Ooh, baby.
And then, hopefully we'll talk about... we can get Well, I guess you're going to talk a little on Iconoclasts.
Yeah,
today?
I'm going to touch a little bit on it.
I can touch a little bit on it too. I haven't played much of it.
And then
anyway,
I'll have enough to talk about that next week, and there's a good chance I pick up Dead Cells. But we'll deal with next week.
That's right. But this week we got a review game, and that's Picross S2. Yeah, Picross S2, and yes, it is exactly what it sounds like. More Picross. There's no surprises here.
It's not a Metroidvania.
You know, and I don't think I ever talked about the first Picross. I got it before on the. I might have talked about it on the show a little bit. I don't think I did though.
Maybe it was one of those weeks when like a direct came up and it sort of fell to the wayside.
Well, I played a ton of it.
Well,
so
no,
not
that you didn't play it, but that's why you just didn't talk about it, you know.
It definitely came out at a time where I bought it along with a bunch of other games, and I don't know, I didn't. Anyway, I might have talked about it quickly.
I was thinking about that, dude. I never played Bloodstained. Like, I bought it and I played like 5 minutes of it, and I never got back to it.
Dude, that's why I didn't get it, because I knew that like I had so much to play, you know, and that's why I didn't buy it. I really want to play it really bad, but I just
that's gonna be my
buy it until I can.
That's gonna be my game when like a big title's coming out in like 2 or 3 days, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to buy or play anything else before that. I'm just gonna bang this out. But
get into the backlog, buy you.
Ooh, the old buy you.
But yeah, so. Picross S, the series on Switch, which has already had 2 releases. The first, when I was excited for Picross, I mean, I love Picross. It is my jam. It is my puzzle game. I like it better. I love Sudoku, as people know. First game I talked about on the show.
It is a good game.
It's very. I would closely resemble it to Sudoku. But more fun. I think more better for video games because you can make pictures. That's the whole point. It's kind of like Sudoku, where at the end, the little design you've made, you're chipping out. It's kind of like in my review I said it's kind of like chipping away at like a 2D sculpture, if that makes sense. You're kind of making a picture at the end. And over the past 5, 10, I don't know how many years I've played it, you know, the best part about Picross is like, you understand the rules, and it's all about using the process of elimination, but then you figure out tricks on top of the process of elimination. Like for instance, basically you're just trying to figure out, okay, this has when I'm looking at the numbers on this row, what's in here, I know that it has to be that no matter what, no matter how you place these, the dots have to be in this spot, you know, and that's how you're thinking the whole time. You think, and then because those are there, this has to be here, and because this is here, that has to be there, and that's how you put together the puzzle. And then one by one, you're kind of knocking out the puzzle and getting it done, which is very similar to Sudoku. That's what you do. You go 1 through 9 because in this box there's 1 through 9. In this line there can't be. You know, it's totally the same idea with that. So. And Picross though even has more tricks up its sleeve that you can learn to help speed the process. And I was just thinking, I would love to see Picross S or S2 on like Games Done Quick. I would love to see a speedrun of that. I think that'd be fun. Even though it's totally something that people could memorize and do. But like, I want to see the inputs be like, because you can hold down.
Oh, it would be like mechanical.
Yeah, and I bet it'd be like each puzzle would be like 4 seconds.
What would be even more interesting would be like if they made a randomizer of that, so it's just random puzzles and speed run it.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Because I bet you there's some people who can freaking whiz through those things in no time, just because, like you said, they just know how to look at it.
Well, exactly. It's kind of like a Rubik's Cube. Like you learn how to do it, and then everything falls into place, and then. But the cool thing is I mean, the difficulty truly changes the bigger the puzzle. I mean, because you start off with a 5x5 square, and those literally get done in. I mean, I can do those in 6 seconds. Literally 6 seconds.
Look at this guy.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's just you learn how to do it, and you can do it real fast. And then you keep going, and then it becomes like 10x10, goes to 15x15, 50, and then 20 even gets up to 20. You know, and it's huge. I mean, it's a great difficulty changer because it really takes a lot more effort and time and concentration to figure out where the stuff goes. So I love it because it's great, and it is just the perfect handheld game. But the cool thing is this is like the first Picross game that Jupiter, they've done all the Picross games basically for Nintendo. They did all the way back to Mario's Picross on the Game Boy. Did you know that?
I did not. Honestly, I didn't even really know about Picross until the 3DS.
Interesting, yeah. Well, I know there's been like Picross on DS, and then I knew of it then, but then like Picross 3D was one that came out that was really cool on the DS that I played a little bit of, and then of course 3D2 came out on the and I don't think Jupiter made those. I think that's Nintendo, a different developer. But the 2D ones, Picross, are great. And yeah, I just thought that's kind of cool. But now what I was getting to, I've always been on handhelds for the most part. I think there was like a Super Nintendo Picross game. I think that it was in Japan only or something like that. And but otherwise now we're on the Switch. That's both, and so you can play it on the screen, which is cool. And to make use of this really cool feature is there's co-op mode, where we could play together, and people can input things, and you can really get puzzles done quicker. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it actually works with co-op.
Yeah, it adds a new element, and plus with those games too, a lot of the times, like, or at least for me, like the solution will be right in front of my face. You know what I mean? And you'll just sort of like overlook it.
Yes.
But if you have that second set of eyes,
yes. Oh, absolutely. It's exactly like that. And so it's a cool thing. Plus, great way to show your friends the game. I mean, I don't think they've really capitalized on that, but like that would be a great it's a great showcase. So, where you can show people how to play it, they can play it with you. They literally don't have to do anything. You could do the whole thing, but they could still try to input stuff, and it works. So, it's cool. There's a new mode as Clip Picross, which really isn't anything new. They don't really change any dynamics of the gameplay. What happens is you unlock these puzzles of a big puzzle, and they all can be like random shapes. Like they could be they're not even squares, like rectangles, like 5 by 10.
Oh yeah,
but it doesn't really change anything, and you're just putting together a big puzzle, which it's fun. It's more content, really, is what it is.
Now, are you more of a fan? I'm assuming of 2D Picross than 3D.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm more of a fan only because I've played it a lot more. Man, I gotta get back to. It's just the thing is, it's like, oh man, that'll be great on
Switch.
Yeah, that'll be great on Switch. I can't wait to.
I love that statement just works for pretty much any game these days.
Yeah, well, I was kind of held back saying it because of the touchscreen use.
See, I don't think I feel like when I played it on because there was a demo on the 3DS, right, for 3D Picross, and I feel like I ended up just using the buttons anyway.
Interesting.
So,
because one of the most satisfying things in the world was using the little stylus to chip away at it. Like, I loved that part about it. But yeah, like you said, now that's an important point here, is there is no touchscreen capabilities on the Switch, which I thought there totally would be, because that's how I've played Picross on DS forever. And there's no touchscreen. And it's like, this is weird. But then, after a while, you realize, okay, this actually makes a lot more sense. And I mentioned this in the review, the stupid capacitive touchscreen anyway would suck with a stupid stylus if you want, and your fingers would be too big. It wouldn't work. And again, it goes back to my
skinnier fingers.
Is that a fat joke, Gibson? It goes back to my thing of I like the other the cheaper touchscreens better.
Well, yeah,
I like stylus touchscreens
for gaming.
Better.
It like you said, just to be able to bust out that stylus,
better.
And you feel like you can. I don't want to say you could be rough with it.
You can draw pictures,
but you could really you don't have to. I don't know. Like you said, it was nice to be able to push the stylus against that screen and not really worry too much. And you knew it was going to get the job done.
Awful rubber nub that's thick that doesn't even do what you want it to do. Yeah, it's awful. So, yeah. So I don't know about that. But I'm glad. But you get into the physical inputs in Picross, and it's like it's no way you could go faster. Honestly, it's that kind of a thing. Plus, if it's touchscreen, you got to use one hand to hold the Switch, which I think would be pretty awkward, I think. But anyway, I'm just saying, the good news is it works. It works really well. There's co-op to play, lots of puzzles, tons of content, fun. It's cheap. I think it's $8, $7.99. I love it. It's so clean. And the last thing I definitely will try to get this track, but there's a track on there that's like the clip Picross. I think it's the number 3. The music that I love. I love it. Like, I don't know why. It kind of hit me like in a nostalgic, like kind of like peaceful way when I was playing. I was like, man, I'm really having a moment right here, like with this music. I really liked it.
Were you tearing up, you big baby?
Nope. We don't talk about that.
Yeah. I told you not to bring that up.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really good. I really recommend it to anyone. I think it's the perfect handheld game to play in between stuff. Gets to do it can take small puzzles can take 10-15 seconds if you're quick, and then big puzzles can take 15-20 minutes. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's got nice variety in the time sense.
You can pick from any of the puzzles at any time. There's also another mode that I'll touch on next. Picross is the Mega Picross. I'll say that for Picross S2, which is I'm sure coming out 2019. I hope so.
Yeah,
and then I hope they release. They should do like a Picross. They should do like a Picross S collection, a physical. Boom, sell that.
Get on it.
They could. But anyway, let's get into some early impressions of your game.
Yes, and that is Iconoclasts.
Yes, you did. Yeah, they sent us a couple codes, and I played a little of it, and I can't wait to dive more into it. But I want to say, if you will, I want to say my early impressions are Owlboy meets Cave Story.
Yeah, I could. Well, I have not played Owlboy yet, but visually, I know where you're coming from.
Yes.
I mean, that's easily the first thing that jumps out at you is really like the colors pop, very vibrant. Really great backgrounds and stuff, and just I love how the character Robin looks. I just everything about it visually I really am enjoying.
Yeah.
So I guess to start off, it's like the story's sort of strange so far. It's like you are you've got this big wrench that you go around like fixing things, but I guess you need a license, and since your main character doesn't, it's like forbidden against, I guess, whatever the government is, and so you have one concerned agent coming after you, and since you don't have a license and you're sneaking around helping people, you're a sinner in mother's eyes, and penance is raining down upon people who are like sinners and stuff. So it's sort of like a very sort of out there, sort of interesting story. Again, I'm pretty early on, so it hasn't really developed too much.
Yeah, but there's lots of stories.
But yeah, and you can interact with the different villagers and get little, stories and bits from them too. But as far as the gameplay goes, it is, I believe it's a Metroidvania, right? I mean, at least so far it seems that way, because, and granted, I started playing last night pretty late, so it's like, I went one way and I was like, I don't see any way to move forward, so I went the other way and I've been progressing that way. So I don't know if maybe I just missed like a little secret, or if it was actually like maybe I'll revisit that area. But what's cool is you have like a blaster gun which you can charge up, and but you can also just rapid fire. What's really cool is that it has auto aim, so like within varying degrees. So if you're on a plane, and
it is
like
cool.
The creature is like low to the ground, like a slime, and it's sort of going against the ground, you don't need to like duck down to shoot. You can, but like if you just are pointing in that direction and shoot, she will put it on like a 45-degree angle to sort of, or more like a 30-degree angle to sort of shoot at it, So I think that's really nice, because it's just one less thing to like worry about, and it just feels good. It feels good to be able to like get in the vicinity of them and just sort of blast away.
Right.
Now you also have the wrench, which works both as a weapon, like a short range melee weapon, that does a lot of damage. But it also is sort of how you solve puzzles around the world, because you'll just find these not checkpoints, like I guess cogs or nuts around the area, and you're just gonna grab and use the wrench, and it'll like pop open a lever. And
you know what that really reminds me of?
What's that?
Which I don't think you've played. Drill Dozer.
I have not played that. But...
Very similar, like mechanic, but instead of like using a wrench, it's a drill. You're kind of drilling this, but it has very like twisting stuff and doing stuff like that. So that's the other game. So Cave Story, Drill Dozer, and Owlboy. Anyway.
Boom. But yeah, so the wrench feels good because, like, in the beginning it's like, oh, like they're pretty simple, like just use it to open the door, and then all of a sudden they start doing some puzzles where it's like you have these, like when you use the wrench you have like this big sort of barrier move, but they also, you know, it's not just vertically as a door, like they move horizontally too. So like there's the one early puzzle where it's like you need to go over here, open that use the wrench on that thing to open the path, but it's on a timer, so then you need to get back to the other side of the room, hit that area with the wrench, and then it'll shoot over, and then you'll have a platform to climb up. So it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it so far. There is like upgrade systems, so like while you're out in the world, you're going to pick up I forget, they have like funny names for them, like upgradium, but not like exactly that, you know.
It's something like that though.
And you can use those to like make yourself little bits to upgrade your character on certain things. So that I just unlocked, so I don't really have too much experience fiddling with that. But yeah, I mean, so far it feels really fun. It feels good.
Totally.
It's great when you do jump, like you'll grab onto the platform and you pull yourself up. So I like that. It feels good.
Yeah,
it feels really snappy. Like
it does.
Like when you jump onto a ladder, it's like, you know, like it feels good. I don't know. I really like this game so far. I'm definitely going to continue to play it. And I
think this game is made by one person.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you brought that to my attention, and that blows my mind. That absolutely blows my mind.
It is. It's kind of sickening. Like it makes me like really, really appreciate it.
Makes me
like,
think, what the heck am I doing with my life?
No. I mean, like that is so much work, you know.
Oh, you know,
it's insane.
And it's one of those things that so far, it seems really, really polished. So it's like,
oh yeah, so far for sure.
It's one thing for one person to make like a more simplistic game super polished, you know, or like they had a really big ambition and like, yeah, it's a little janky, you know, but like and again, I'm about an hour in, so like of course take this with a grain of salt. Like it could all of a sudden turn for the worse later, but so far early impressions are like it just feels really solid. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would.
That's fun to hear. I'm not that far
in
it. I think I've played maybe 20, 25 minutes. Jill played a bunch of it, actually. She saw me play, and she's like, this looks cool. So,
yeah, like I said,
I went and did something, and she was playing
pretty
it.
Sweet.
So. Yeah, absolutely. So,
I'll have
cool.
More
So
on
we
that.
will. Yeah. Let's go more into depth because I think Jules, like even like somehow knows the developer. Maybe he can add some input next week. And that'll be fun. But yeah, that's Iconoclasts. I don't think it's out yet.
It comes out the day this bad boy releases. So
cool.
You'll be able to pop over to the eShop.
It's really impressive. I hope that we've kind of stated that. I think we have. So yeah, check it out, and we'll talk more about it next week.
Yes, very good.
Now, before we go though, I have to. There's something revolutionary has happened that I haven't really talked to you about at all because you've been so busy.
Yeah, I know. I felt so disconnected from the world.
I know. Yeah, we haven't talked, but I'm sitting here playing
in my
Picross.
boxers.
I really am. I am my boxers. Playing Picross on my Joy-Con, like handheld mode, and with a D-pad.
You finally one of the Horis?
Yeah. So my good friend Daniel Bivens, the
Bivsters
from Japanaland, I kind of demanded it
He just randomly sent me a D-pad
a few months ago. I'm like, by the way, you have to help me get this. And he's like, He's like, okay, like we'll try it, and like Amazon shipped to America, and I think it was like super cheap too. Like I don't get it.
I think. I mean, I guess minus the import fee of like shipping and stuff. I was surprised how cheap the base item was.
I got it from is it DHL?
Oh, DHL. Yeah.
Or S. Which one is that? I always get those.
That's the yellow, DHL? Right? Yellow and red, I think.
Yeah. Is it DHL or DHS? L, right?
Is it DHS?
I can't remember.
I think it's DHL.
Anyway, okay. I've never gotten a package from them.
Yeah, DHL.
They're like the RC Cola.
DHL Express is a division of the German logistics company Deutsche Post DHL, providing international courier, parcel, and express mail services.
Yeah. Well, I got it from them, and it was very smartly packaged in this gigantic thing. But yeah, it's a little D-pad made by Hori. It's the blue one, and I'm actually really glad I got it. But there, of course, the day before I get it, I learn of the unfortunate things with this thing. Now, did you hear about this?
No.
Oh, so with this model...
I can't wait to hear this.
When you leave it plugged into your Switch, it keeps using power. So it'll drain your battery even when you're in sleep mode.
That's sort of weird. I guess that's a bug, sucks. Right? That has to be some sort of bug.
Yes, and I know it has to do because it doesn't have any power of its own. Right.
Yeah.
So the thing about this, and I'm gonna see. Listen, this is the sound of it. There, that was me sliding in off the Switch. Now, this thing, it's super light because there's no Bluetooth. There's no HD rumble.
No battery or anything.
So there's no battery. It's really light. It's comfy. It feels like a Joy-Con. That's really important to say. Now, hey, since I can do this because this is an audio podcast, this is me clicking the right shoulder button. Do you hear that?
No.
Okay, well, they will hear that, and then so it sounds like this. Now this is the Joy-Con.
I hear that.
See that it's a lot more stiffer and clickier. The ZR feels the same, and the other weird thing is like the minus button is rubber, and it like sticks out like twice as far as the regular minus button does. And then also the capture button is made of rubber too, but it's actually a little higher on it, so it's actually more comfortable to use, which is cool.
Yeah, I find sometimes like I'm like struggling to find that button like in the midst of, like when I want to get something more, like serious, not serious, but like, oh crap, I want to get that before it passes, and then I'm like, I missed it.
Right. And then the other thing that's really weird is that it's ever so slightly, and this, I thought this would bother me a little bit, but it really doesn't at all. It's ever so slightly a bit thicker. Like, you wouldn't notice it unless you're really looking for it, but it's just a little bit thicker. The left Joy-Con is this D-pad one. Now that I've gotten all that out of the way about the similarities, the D-pad. Now, do you think we've all been poisoned with the Pro Controller's D-pad? Right.
Oh,
it's terrible.
Oh well, yeah, it is the worst.
I mean, it's comfy, but it doesn't work, right? So what about this one? How about Hori? This, what are they gonna do? I'm pleased to say that everything I've used it with has been fantastic.
Well, I'm
and it feels really good. It's big. It's a nice big D-pad, which I think they're making use of that double, of the thicker. I think they made it thicker. Now, I haven't tried it yet. I should try it. Like, it's so much. I still think it might. It probably won't. It probably not. Well, it doesn't matter anyway. Maybe that's why they did it. Okay, sorry, I'm talking out loud. I'm thinking out loud. Sorry, I'm thinking. No, I'm thinking like it wouldn't.
It's just
it
when
wouldn't
you're like
fit.
thinking out loud. Just your.
Well, it wouldn't. I'm wondering if the Joy-Con would fit in a Joy-Con grip. Because it's a little thicker.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like I feel like it actually could because it's not that much thicker. But you couldn't use it in a Joy-Con grip anyway because you can only use it in handheld mode. But the very unfortunate thing is that it drains the battery when it's out. So when you're done using it,
you just got to click it up.
You got to take it out, which sucks.
Well,
I mean,
you can keep it in, can't? I mean, like, just slide it like so it's not clicked in, but it's still on the Switch.
Yeah, I think that would work. Yeah. But that's annoying, right?
No,
no matter what.
Absolutely.
Now, it's cool that in my case, though, I can actually take it off and I can fit a Joy-Con inside of my case that I have, which is really cool.
Boom.
So, So that's nice to keep it there. And I'm really enjoying it. I played some Mutant Muds, of course. That was like my first thing I thought of. I'll play some Slime Song too. But so far, early impressions feels really good. Here's the sound of it clicking. Oh, it's a great feel. It looks great. And I'm actually glad I got the blue one because it looks nice. The ones they have announced for United States are Mario themed and Zelda themed.
Yeah, just give me a nice solid color.
Yeah, I'm glad I got my solid blue one from the Bivs. And Danny, thank you so much.
From the homeland.
Yeah, thank you so much for sending it to me. Good old Danny.
The Bivster.
But yeah, he's the Bivs. One last thing I will say, just as I'll just use this as a little review of it, right? It's a little review on the podcast. There is like, if you hold up your Switch, there's like the little tiny space between it and the unit, like just on the bottom of it, unlike the other side. So there's the full review of it. I give it a solid B+.
All right, I could live with a B+.
Because here's the thing. It's $25. Like it's not like a Joy-Con's $50. I mean, it's literally the half price. And yeah, I think that Nintendo just needs to make one that is fully functioned, and I will buy it for $50. I mean, that's the thing. It's like I would still buy another one, like for sure. Oh, and the analog stick feels the exact same. I do want to say exactly the same. It feels exactly the same to me, and I'm not.
Hori's does usually a pretty good job. I mean, at least that play stand.
But I love. Yeah, I really do. I love the thing. It feels great. So anyway, yeah, that's the Hori D-Pad Joy-Con. And they did announce that they fixed the problem that for the Western release it won't drain the battery, which is really cool.
I wonder if you could get like
I might end up getting another one.
Manufacturer reimbursement or something.
Maybe,
or like
but it's from
get
Japan.
them to send a new one.
Maybe. I wonder if they will.
If you email them and be like, "Hey, I bought this thing and
it drains my battery." Yeah. Yeah, like that's no fair, you know.
No sir.
It's fun. It's fun to think about because it has no. See, you got to think of the cost savings of this thing. Like because it has no Bluetooth, it doesn't have any of the whatever the buttons are called on the inside. The,
chips.
Like the buttons, the actual buttons, the SL, or is that what they're called, or SR? You know, like when you take the Joy-Cons off and you're playing it like an NES.
All right, I got you. Yeah,
it doesn't have those R and L buttons because you can't use it in Bluetooth anyway. It has to be hooked in, you know?
Yeah,
But
that makes sense.
So it's kind of fun. But yeah, so total cheap, but it works. Works great. D-pad, it's the best D-pad on the Switch.
Boom.
You know? It really is. I've played other Hori stuff too, and this is the best. This feels like a really nice D-pad, so yeah. All right, we've been going on too long. But that's okay. I hope that people can get it. I think people will be interested.
They all left Perry.
Yeah, seriously, they probably all did. They probably went to all go downvote our eShop Roundup.
The only man left is Justin Bruby, who's like, I love the D-pad.
Wait, the D-pad on the Pro Controller?
Oh no, just D-pads in general.
Oh. Gotcha. Yeah.
But yes. Yeah, only a pair of games, but it was nice that we got to dive into the world of the Hori D-Pad. We do love our Hori play stands, so I'd be giving.
We sure do.
Be willing to give them a shot.
I would love to be sponsored by Hori. We should ask it. We should reach out if we could be sponsored by them and shill their stuff all the time.
Yeah, too bad. Yeah, it's like we're already doing it anyway. Might as well get paid in Hori play stands.
And then we'll get more downvotes on our eShop Roundup videos.
Boom. But all right, let's take a quick little breather, and then when we get back here, you know what time it is, boys and girls.
Giddy up. Hey, welcome back to the eShop Roundup, where me and Casey, this big giblet head I have here, we're gonna run through the games that have come out in the past week on the eShop, and we're gonna make it snappy.
Well, you know what? We don't even need to make it that snappy because for once, there's less than 20 games to talk about.
Seriously, look at this.
We could take our sweet time if we
wanted to. We can. Why don't we talk about something else besides the eShop?
How's life? What is life? No. First up here, let's get right on into it.
All right.
We've got a little game called Candle. Candle, the Power of the Flame. For $17.99.
And this is
now,
from
this
our
is
friends
an
at
adventure
Merge
game
Games.
that focuses on puzzles, and they bill it as challenging puzzles. So
look at those! Look at that cool art.
They look like Korok seeds.
Yeah, they
like
do.
If you look at I mean, not as green, I guess.
I love this. Like it's like hand drawn. Like it looks like a pencil and like kind of like colored pencil.
Yeah, that looks really cool.
Actually, very cool. Yeah. I can dig it.
Very nice. I like
but
it.
From Merge Games.
Boom. Oh man, we didn't take long. It didn't take long this week to get right on into being a week.
That's right.
Because what do we got here, Perry?
Ooh, Arcade Archives Omega Fighter.
Ooh, looks like a shmup.
Yeah, it does. Looks like a shmup that you can play in Tate, which that you should. Looks like a very standard. Isn't that funny? It's like how many of these games can actually exist?
A bajillion.
You know, there's so many, and it's like I wonder what the. Let's see. Does it say?
This one, fight for high scores as you dangerously approach the enemy.
It says use 2 kinds of shots, so it has like a 2-shot.
Yeah, this was 1989. That was the year I was born, Perry.
Hey, same as Jill.
But yeah, no, I mean,
cool.
I always like shoot 'em ups, but like you said, it looks like a pretty standard shoot 'em up. But you got some co-op play, so that could be something. But
looks cool.
Now, if you found yourself liking Pixel Lines DX, and it just wasn't enough, and you needed 500 more puzzles, Perry, then you are in luck, because we have Pixel Lines DX 500 more puzzles for $9.99. It's more Pixel Lines, which is a cool little puzzle game, actually. If you are
I haven't
interested,
got a chance to play this.
Well, I was going to say, if you are interested, I know that the Pixel Lines DX has a free-to-play version on the phone, so you could like check it out, see if it is up your alley. And then if you want to, I mean, obviously you could keep playing there and do the free-to-play option. But if you like found that you really like the puzzles, you can jump back over to the eShop here. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I've heard nothing but great things about Pixel Lines DX.
Yeah, Caitlin played it on her phone and she liked it, but just not enough to like get a million.
It
puzzles.
looks like another. Yeah, it looks like another. Like in the same genre as Picross and Sudoku. So
yeah, for sure.
Which is the puzzle. I mean, but that little subgenre. But look what we have up next. It's a Neo Geo game, and it's a fighting game. The King of Fighters,
say.
And it says the King of Fighters 97, like 1997. It's not. It's really the 97th King of Fighters Neo Geo game.
Yeah, of course. Neo Geo. They love them fighting games and shoot 'em ups. Hopefully, we get a sports game to round out the trifecta.
Yeah, here we go. You see the screenshot of the flame person punching in the dark, like the black background. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, no, some of the backgrounds are cool. Looks like a big old
good old Neo Geo.
You're down by the beach volleyball maybe, or the basketball courts or something. But yeah, some more fighting game. Now, next up here we have the final game in the Banner Saga trilogy.
Oh.
Banner Saga 3 for $24.99. Your saga ends now, Perry. I've heard really great things about this game, especially like the narrative and the story, and how your decisions sort of play into it all. So I know Neil Ronahan of the website is a big fan, and I think he was surprised. I don't think he expected to enjoy it as much as he did.
Absolutely. This is a game that I could totally get into. I feel like I would love. I'm not really big on like the medieval type stuff, but like this game looks really cool, and also I've heard the strategy is really good, and the art is just sublime when you see it in action. I'm watching the trailer right now. Very cool. Also, it's coming to physical, I believe, on Switch.
As the trilogy?
As the trilogy, and I'm sure it's cheaper than buying them all separately because this is $25. But I have some sad news. It's not. They all. I think I saw that they aren't all included on the
card.
On the card, and it has that ugly banner on the top. That
no!
I just can't stand that.
You hate it.
I can't stand that. I hate it so much. But anyway, that game. I'm sorry I had to mention that, but that game does look really, really cool. as you can see on this screenshot here, you can see like the isometric grid style, like SRPG. So anyway, yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
Next up, we have Crossing Souls. This is a cool looking game. It's from Devolver. This is one of their 6 games they're releasing in 6 weeks. But I saw some. I mean, the screenshots look really cool. It's like this pixely looking game. It kind of reminds me of Serial Cleaner. I think Neil told me. I think it was Neil at PAX. He saw someone dressed up as the guy from Serial Cleaner at PAX.
That's
which
awesome.
is great. But yeah, this game, Crossing Souls, looks cool. And like if you see, I know that like if you see like the trailer,
it's well, I should mention I know David is writing the review for the site, and it might look cool, but from what I hear, it's a little rough. So you might want to pop over and check out his review.
Yes.
But yeah, it's 15% off right now, so it's $12.74 down from $14.99. So yeah, I would recommend checking out the review before diving into that one.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
watch the trailer though; it's pretty cool. I mean, it's like it is pixely, but like it has some really cool animation stuff.
Boom.
Anyway,
now moving along here, we have a little game I actually played at PAX East, and
That's
that is Sleep Tight, which is it's a roguelike pillow fort game.
By the way. Yeah.
For,
yeah. And it's
$14.99.
Yeah, I love
here.
that idea.
And yeah, I got to talk to the developer, and yeah, it's cool. It's you pretty much build up your fort here, and each night the monsters come out and attack.
I don't think you have proof of that. You didn't record any footage. You didn't.
Yeah, I know it was.
You probably just went and slept in the corner because we were so freaking tired.
Slept tight.
I know. Yeah, that's where you're like, sleep tight. That's funny. I didn't even think about that. That's good.
But yeah, so I guess you build up your fort.
Looks great.
And every 10th night is the old blood moon when it gets real mean.
Blood
moon. Speaking to David, I know he wrote the review for that one. So.
Oh yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. All right. So next
you like free stuff,
Oh
Perry?
no. Oh. I do like free stuff, kind of. Well, actually, not really. But next up, I like to pay for stuff so that it's
Sure you do.
Anyway,
jerk 'em.
Just kidding. A free download here. We got Dawn of the Breakers.
Down in the Breakers.
Down in the Breakers. No, Dawn of the Breakers, and this is a game featuring women fighting and also men, I think. And yeah, there's just that image of all the like trading cards you can get in the game or something. But it looks like a.
I'm looking at the in-game items here, and you've got Spirit Gem and monthly Spirit Gem Pass. So I'm assuming it's going to be pretty heavily on like sort of like just keep pumping money into it. But I don't know that for sure.
Did you see? There's the "We won't let things go as you please."
Just give us another Spirit Gem.
Like, oh really? You won't let things go as I please, huh? Well, I'm really scared now. Like,
I'm shaking in my boots.
Yeah, that's really funny. All right, well, there you go. So, yeah, Spirit Gems.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, like you said, the monthly Spirit Gem Pass. No, thank you.
I'm good. Now, moving along to this next game here, we have Final Light: The Prison for $6.99. Free the souls inside a secret prison. All with a Metroidvania gameplay and a roguelike philosophy.
You are nothing. Your souls belongs to us. Interesting. Side-scrolling. Very weird art style, isn't it?
Yeah, and like one of the pictures looks like it sort of is playing a little bit with perspective, but I don't know. Because it looks very 2D, and then that one sort of looks like it's a different angle. I don't know. But yeah, looks interesting. I sort of like the one, I guess it would be the promotional art, where it's like very black and white, and then like the roses and the character are lit up.
Yeah.
Boom.
Eek, that logo though. Woo-wee. Anyway, next up, speaking of, oh, here's a nice logo. Element. For $11.99. The future lies beyond. And
Element is a roguelike strategy space game for people who don't have time to play real-time strategy space games.
That's great.
Yeah, because I was looking.
Cool.
At first, the screenshots don't really give you much, but I guess once you sort of.
I know. I was like, "Where is the game?"
It looks like very like I don't want to say small, but like manageable sized planets. I don't know exactly what.
Yeah, it reminds me of like a Nano Stray.
I mean, right off the bat, like No Man's Sky. I guess that's just sort of like the default space adventure game I think of now. But yeah, $11.99. So I would be interesting to see exactly what your. Does it say? I guess when you drop down. Home is no longer.
It does look cool. I'm watching the trailer right now, waiting to see some gameplay. But yeah. Anyway, we can move along.
Moving along right here.
It looks cool, that's for sure.
This is a game you barely got to play. Hello Neighbor for $39.99. I believe we learned this after we sort of checked it out at PAX. That I guess it is a very popular streaming game.
Oh yeah, I just saw toys for this clearance at Target.
I saw those at Target as well. You gotta sneak into your neighbor's house and then I guess you sneak in, then you get into the basement, and then all of a sudden it like becomes very it doesn't make any sense. And it's like, oh, this basement is huge and there's a roller coaster or something. So I'm pretty sure you just keep going deeper and trying to stay away from the neighbor himself. But
oh man,
yeah, $39.99. You played this at PAX with no volume.
I quote unquote played this at PAX with my head cranked up.
Oh
looking,
yeah,
I don't know why they had tiny build. Listen to me, don't have that. Well, I guess
know what it is. It's like I feel like we had the makeshift sort of spot because we were trying to get really footage. Cool. You know, yeah, she was really nice.
No, she was super nice.
But
I just didn't tell me anything about what's going on.
Yeah, they didn't give Perry any direction, and like
nothing.
The game,
I have no idea about this game. So.
The game relies heavily on audio cues to know sort of where the neighbor's coming from, and like you had no audio. PAX was super loud. You had no. It yielded some of the best gameplay of all time.
I will say Jules and I will be talking about this next week on the podcast. So
he had to redeem himself.
Yeah. Oh man. Jeez. But next up here, we have a Nintendo published game, which is so weird. Go Vacation. This is a remake of a Wii game. It looks pretty good actually. It looks like an HD-ified game, but I've heard really good things about this. Check out the review on the site. But it looks like it's Wii Sports Resort, but vacation. But no, and I don't think you don't actually use Mii's though. Like that's the weird thing, you know. Like I think you create your own.
Yeah,
Mii.
it looks like off-brand Mii's.
Yeah, which I'm not a big fan of. I thought maybe they'd use. They haven't used any Mii games yet, really, which is interesting.
Yeah,
I don't think you can even have Mii's. I don't know. I guess anyway.
It does have a hefty price tag of $49.99.
I think it's physical too. I think it's physical. So. But, hey, we only have 4 left, and so one of them is Pixel Action Heroes for $4.99. What are you laughing at?
I'm just laughing at, like, the Hulk over there, or Hulk Hogan.
Dude, it's Monsignor Martinez. Vaya con Dios.
Is that the guy from Kill Bill?
Hulk Hogan.
Is that Bill?
I've never seen Kill Bill.
I'm looking at like the one with the yellow and like the black stripes down his pants, so it looks like it could be like a Kill Bill thing. But yeah, looks like they've got all sorts of iconic heroes here to join in this voxel adventure here. First-person shooter.
Hulk Hogan, that's great.
Boom. Now, moving along to the top row of games here, we've got Flashback. For $19.99, the action-adventure classic is back to celebrate its 25th anniversary.
Oh, wow. Really?
Which I've never heard of this game. So
it looks cool.
Yeah, let's see.
Man, really cool art styles. I think it's kind of like that Another World game that you said you didn't like the art style because you're a gym bot. But that's okay. That's okay. It's different opinions. This is the beauty of humanity is different opinions.
You shut your pie hole, Bobby.
Okay. Yeah, I'm watching the trailer right now. Animation's really cool, and yeah, so interesting. It's an adventure game. So now, remember back in the days where, but it looks like there's platforming. Or are you just tapping? Does it say platformer? It just says action adventure. So
I don't know. I think
there's platforming too. Okay, you moved on to what?
Code of Princess EX for $39.99. Now this was a 3DS game, was it not?
Yes, it was.
And I think it might have been a Vita game as well. So like, it would make more sense if it came out for Vita 2 that like this would be more of a Vita port, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Because you know, I guess Vita. I guess Switch has touch controls too. But I'm just thinking the single screen. But yeah, this is
It's like a hack and slash or something.
Yeah, I guess hack and slash beat 'em up. Which it's funny because like when I hear that name, I just sort of, I was like, oh, it sounds like a RPG, like a JRPG. Especially when you look at the promotional art, like the characters are very in that style. But
totally,
it actually it looks like a cool beat 'em up. It actually looks far more interesting than I thought it would be. Look like.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway. All right. Last game,
baby.
Another one, which I believe is another physical one for $39.99, which a lot of people are interested in, is Titan Quest from Nordic Games. Have you heard of this game?
I've absolutely heard of it. I've never really looked into it, but it's from the Age of Empires co-creator.
And the Braveheart writer, Randall Wallace.
I tell you what, Age of Empires is a great game.
That's classic.
On Twitch, one of my favorite things to stream is when they have the Age of Empires 2 competitive brackets going on. And I don't know what it is. I just like, it's just so peaceful to look at like Age of Empires. You shut your pop.
Where's my nerd alarm?
That's alright.
I'm just kidding. That's alright. Hey, by the way.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
We're sitting here going over stuff on the eShop.
Yeah, if you're questioning whether we're nerds or not.
Oh, baby. We are nerds. I'm a nerd. Yeah, so. But anyway, that's Titan Quest. Looks interesting. 1 to 6 players online. So, 7 gigabytes.
Online? Alright. I'm more intrigued now.
Ooh, I just got Gibson intrigued. So, on that note, thank you guys for watching. Thank you. You can
the
look
shortest installment ever.
Yeah, you can look forward to more eShop Roundups every Wednesday, usually.
Yeah.
I'm not going to promise that, but we'll try to keep it there. On the NWR TV, check out our main podcast, Talk Nintendo Podcast at NintendoWorldReport.com. Of course, if you're listening to the podcast right now, you don't need that information because you're already listening.
Yep. And also, we upload every podcast in full here on the YouTube as well. So you can get it on podcast services, YouTube, the website, direct download, whatever. Anyway, pretty much most ways you can think about, you can figure it out. But
now, Casey, before we go, what's your game of the week?
Ooh. Do you already know yours?
No.
Because I was...
I am going to pick, for mine, I'm going to go ahead and pick Sleep Tight.
Alright, I would actually change it up to Code of Princess EX because, like I said beforehand, I was like, nah. But actually looking at it, looks like it could be pretty fun.
Yeah. Alright.
Cool.
Well, there we go. Alright, Casey, I'll see you next week on the eShop Roundup.
Poodles.
But if you're listening to the podcast right now, it's time to get into the YouTube Saloon.
Alrighty, the YouTube Saloon once again. Now, last week we had Perry's very special and very awesome Wario video. So
you didn't watch it, did you?
I did not yet. Dude, like I told you, I was so disconnected. But
no, it's a good video. Honestly, I'm pretty proud of it.
Now everyone's like, he's a fraud.
Yeah.
No, I've heard really good things, and I'm definitely gonna check it out. But still, obviously, go check that out. But this week we're gonna have another challenge up. I had promised you guys aces, and I'm a big fat liar. But we've got some Coin Runner from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe up there, so that's worth checking out. And next week will be the aces, and I'm gonna get, now that I'm sort of back into an area where I can get into a swing of things, I'll be able to keep up with those new challenges with our face cams and everything. Some of the older ones don't have that, but yeah, we'll be bringing that back and getting back onto a much needed regular schedule. At least for me, I'm just so sick of running around.
Dude, I don't blame you, dude. Sounds awful.
But you know what? Time it is now, Perry.
What time is it?
It's the old news block.
News Talk with Casey Gibson.
And yes, we've got Nintendo financials. Everyone's favorite, the old number crunching section here on the Talk Nintendo podcast. So Nintendo now has released their Q1 2018 fiscal results, and I'm going to go down... I've got them sort of set out in 3 little blocks here, and I figure I'll read them all out, and then we can sort of comment as we go. So, The net income was, I'm just going to say it in US dollars instead of yen, $394.7 million, revenue of $1.514 billion, their operating costs $274.71 million, mobile revenue $81 million, and digital sales $166.49 million, which is 11% of their revenue of digital sales. So that's pretty nice to net almost $400 million for Q1. That's pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah, these are crazy numbers.
And they only get better because, sure, the numbers are fine to look at, but now we've got numbers for hardware and software, which I think are far more interesting to talk about. The Switch in that Q1 sold or shipped 1.88 million, with the lifetime shipments to retail of just shy of 20 million at 19.67. Looking pretty good from Q1. Obviously we're going to have, Q2 go through that, but then all of a sudden we'll get the heavy hitter. Switch's, I know it'll be the Switch's second Christmas, but like real big now we got all the games out, and word of mouth, I think it's going to be a monster Christmas. But moving along, the 3DS ain't dead yet. 360,000 units shipped, and that makes a lifetime shipment of 72.86 million. And
wow,
that's not done for hardware sales, because how could we forget the old NES Classic? 1.26 million were shipped in the first quarter. So
yeah, that's cool. That's cool to hear. I think they're selling as much as they're printing them. So.
And that's good because there were so many people that felt burnt with, how the first release of the Classic went. So I guess Nintendo must have just really severely underestimated the demand. Like, I mean, by a lot, obviously, but I'm glad they're getting more systems out there for people.
Absolutely.
All right, so now let's get into the real good stuff, Perry.
Ooh, I'd love
Switch. 17.96 units of software sold. That's 120.8% over Q1 of 2017. So that's nice to see that going up. 3DS, 2.95 million software. That's negative 49.6 million. That's sort of to be expected, but they're still selling, so that's always good.
Oh, yeah.
Labo, 1.39 million combined. I would say, I don't know, what do you think that...
I think that's good.
I would say, yeah, I just wonder how many, they made, where it's did they, ship 3 million and they only, you know what I mean, and all of a sudden it's oh, we barely even sold this much.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Labo.
But yeah, no, I would think almost 1.5 million would be pretty good, but yeah, Mario Tennis Aces 1.38 million. That's
amazing.
That's a good number right there, and that game came out pretty late in Q1, I'd assume. You got Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze 1.4.
There it is.
Nothing wrong with that, especially when you combine it with the other sales from the Wii U. You've got Odyssey's life-to-date sales at 11.17 million. You've got...
That's insane.
Breath of the Wild's life-to-date sales, 9.32 million.
Crazy.
Mario Kart 8, 10.35 million lifetime, 1.13 million in this quarter alone. So that game's still selling like hotcakes.
Yep.
Kirby Star Allies.
Look at this. Almost 2 mil.
Yep, 1.89 million.
I think that's the biggest Kirby game of all time, right? Like Haven't I heard that? Let's look that up real quick because I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, I don't know if you. Yeah, you should probably look that one up. I'm not
I will.
100% sure.
I'll do it right now.
But I mean, that's still a pretty dang nice price. You know what I mean? I mean, a number,
Yeah.
I should say, not price. Now, hold on one more second, because I'm gonna have to look it up, because I thought I'd copied down the Xenoblade 2 sales, and now I realized I did not copy and paste those. So
now you gotta go find them, and do you want me to say a joke?
Sure. Tell us your funniest joke. Guys, it probably won't be pretty funny at all.
Did you hear about the fire at the circus?
No, I didn't.
All the clowns died.
Nothing wrong with that. Actually, oh my god. Can you look up the I can't find it real quick, but that made a funny, it reminded me something funny from Iconoclasts. Is there's this area you gotta sneak out of the bar, and like, you make noise, so you need to like wait till the other enemies are making a bunch of noise before you can actually leave. And so they're all telling like the dumbest jokes, you know what I mean? And it's, hold on, I took a screenshot because it was really funny, and I was like that's not fun. So they're telling just stupid jokes, and like every time like they do the punchline, they all start laughing and like ho 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 ho, and then you shimmy shake your way out of there. So the one, they tell a joke, and I'm like, that's like the dumbest joke ever. And then I moved, and then like I got in trouble, and then I got caught, and I was like, what the heck, man? So it goes, speaking of pet cats, and then like that's one text line, and then like the next one would be the punchline, and it goes, mine died the other week. And then I started moving just like out of instinct, you know, but nobody laughed. I don't know why I thought that was so funny.
That's great.
But okay, I've got the Xenoblade numbers here. Xenoblade 2
I have the Kirby numbers too.
Has sold 1.42 million copies, which for a JRPG, that's pretty nice. And
oh yeah, dude.
And that's
amazing.
And that's in 6 months' time. I believe they actually said that like matches like the Xenosaga, lifetime like series sales or something. Like it was ridiculous.
Is Xenoblade, is that part of a franchise? The Xeno Gears and stuff, is that all?
I think like I don't know if it's like a direct or if it's just like a soft, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, they said let's see. Yeah, sold, that's 40,000 away from Xenogears lifetime sales, and that includes a bunch of games. But yeah, hopefully it keeps on selling. But yeah, you got the Kirby?
Yeah, so I was a bit mistaken. That's okay though, but it's still impressive.
What's new?
Yeah, exactly. Well, the best-selling game, what do you think the best-selling Kirby game is?
Best-selling, it's got to probably be one for the Wii.
Nope.
Is it the Super Nintendo?
Nope. It's Kirby's Dream Land, the original for the Game Boy. 5.13 million units. 5.13. And then then like Kirby's Adventure for the NES is only 1.75.
But for the NES, that's probably pretty dang good.
Yeah, and then in the same year, Kirby's Pinball Land is 2.19, and then like Dreamland 2 is 2.36. But then other than that, ever since and then Squeak Squad in 2006 was 2.27. But then all the other the highest one since is Kirby Star Allies. So it's in the top 5, I think. And
that game should probably keep on selling.
Oh yeah, it'll keep selling
until the next Kirby game comes out or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's cool. I mean, yeah.
No, there's really nothing wrong with that, man. Like, and then now that brings up the Switch to 10 individual million selling titles.
Million plus, yeah.
So that's nice.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I mean, that's really good.
Good job, Switcheroo.
Boom. Now, that's enough numbers, Perry. You better give us this next bit of news because you alluded to it a little bit earlier.
I sure did. Labo 3 is coming.
Ooh-wee.
And yeah, this looks amazing. This is the vehicle kit. It has a plane, a submarine, and a car, and keys and pedals, baby.
Yes, sir. Now, That makes Mario Kart 8's Labo a little more makes a little more sense, that crossover.
Oh yeah. Do you think they're gonna? I'm sure they'll patch that in then, right?
I gotta imagine like when that thing comes out, they better be like, it also works for Mario Kart, like off the bat.
Yeah, they should have done that. I know they were making their own little thing with it, but I think they should have tied it in with.
Yeah, it would have just been. It's like, I get you want to sort of make it your own thing, but like it's like, use what leverage you can,
Yeah, and I probably would have. Like, I get it. This is what they should have done. They should have done the toy pack, and then they shouldn't have released the robot one. They should have done something like this, or Mario Kart thing, and then come out now with the robot, and then another like Nintendo tie-in. They should have done like both, so that they exist by themselves.
Yeah, I think my only thing would be like, if they released the vehicle kit and the variety pack, it might have just been like, oh, it's just always gonna be like a bunch of just little collections. You know what I mean? Where like the robot one was like, hey, it's gonna be like collections of like a bunch of mini games, but also
but, like,
something a little more.
The robot one was just like nothing, I mean, like, there's just like barely any gameplay, and like,
well, more so than the variety kits. I mean, outside of
a little bit more, I know, but not like a lot more.
I think it had more, but it was probably like a lot more. But like, I feel like John said there
had more gameplay.
I'm pretty sure he said there was
like 4 hours,
which is a heck of a lot more than like. I mean, I feel like any Labo game you could play for on and off just a little bit,
Yeah.
Where like, I think I remember
but that's
John
not a
saying,
lot more. It's probably the same, if not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, but Labo's weird. It's cool. It's kooky. It's Nintendo. The third one looks actually really cool. I think a big open world with stuff to do. That sounds like fun.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So I think it looks cool. So. Yeah, but next up, what do we got?
Ooh, this is one I've been waiting for.
Yeah, what is it?
Salt and Sanctuary is finally coming to the Switch. This is a really cool. I love the art style. It's really tough game from what I hear. I know it's an easy cop out, but the dark souls of 2D gaming. But I hear it's really difficult. It looks really cool. I saw it came out for, I believe, Vita and PS4, and I was like, man, I really hope this comes to Switch. And I think I might have predicted it.
How about physically, Case?
Yeah, well, that's the best part. It is out right now on the eShop, but...
It is? No, it's not. Well, you mean with this
when this thing goes live, you big Jimmy.
Oh, sorry.
but yeah... Then
I was calling you out.
Physical coming later this year, they said. So I was like, perfect. I'm swamped anyway. And then we finally got a release date a couple days after the news dropped. October 30th, right around Halloween. I like it. Sounds like a nice fall game. I'm going to pick that puppy up. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to around Halloween.
What's that?
Playing
Halloween?
Resident Evil Revelations 2.
Oh.
Finishing that up.
Dude, that game is so good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I can't wait till you play it.
Yeah, I mean, I played like the first chapter and it was awesome.
Oh, I can't wait for Resident Evil 2 remake, man. I
know.
Anyway,
speaking of Resident Evil 2, on November 2 or November 2nd, Tako no Tatsujin Drum and Fun, the drum game from Japan that has been out for a long time, is coming out, and there's no drums. It's only releasing digitally.
Is that for sure? I saw the report.
Yeah, well, that's what I've heard.
Yeah,
I mean that's what I've heard. It's only digital.
I saw it from
which is weird.
Nintendo. I
saw like maybe Nintendo Life or something saying actually you can use the DK bongos to play.
Honestly, that
sounds awesome.
I would be down with that, but those drums look really cool, and they come with like the little sticks too. I wonder.
Wait. Are you trying to tell me that
it might be
those drums look
worth importing?
You're not trying to say that they're better than the DK bongos.
Did you say better?
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, Casey.
I don't know. I mean, the DK bongos are the best thing ever, but like I feel like
yeah. Okay.
I don't know. It'd be one A and one B. They're pretty cool looking.
Can you believe that Nintendo came out with a game called Donkey Konga?
I own it.
Woo, that's so funny. And then they proceeded to make Jungle Beat, which is played with drums. That is unbelievable.
I love kooky Nintendo.
I know, man.
But
they're still kooky.
Oh no, for sure. But I can't. You're telling me those drums don't look great?
No, they look great. No, they do. They look great. I might import. Danny, send me the drums.
Danny, we need 2 sets of drums ASAP.
Hey, man, maybe I will. And I think you can download, if you have a Japanese account, you can download a demo for it right now. And if you want to go through the Japanese menus and try to play, go for it. In fact, Casey, I think you should do that. And
I'm doing it right now.
Record it. But
yeah.
Okay. Now, I know this has been on Casey's wish list for a long time. Surgeon Simulator is coming to Switch.
Woo-wee!
It's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, I know the art has like the surgical gloves and they're holding 2 Joy-Cons, you know. So I'd be interested to see how it works with like the motion and stuff. But yeah, good stuff. And to wrap us up here on this news block, Paladins, that game which was $30, is now free to play.
The MOBA?
What's up?
Right, it's a MOBA, right?
Yeah, pretty sure MOBA.
Yeah.
But yeah,
cool.
Boom. I've heard it's a good game from some people. You know, I guess MOBAs are sort of an acquired taste, so.
But better than Fortnite?
Well, it depends what kind of gameplay you're looking for, I guess.
Yeah.
But probably not.
But could be. Like, who knows? It could be
like I
way
said,
better.
some people, like, I feel like, I don't know.
I'm the only reason I'm comparing is because they're both free. That's
yeah, I feel like Fortnite is more, like, to me at least, it's a game you jump in and have fun with and, like, woo! Where, like, I feel like Paladins is more like you could get more strategical about it. And, like, I've got a team and we're going to go in there and try and win, you know? And I'm sure some people play Fortnite
it's
like
not
that.
like the jump in and go, woo!
Yeah. Yeah, literally pull out your paraglider.
Woo! Yep. My paraglider.
The old paraglider.
Yep.
But yes.
All right, well, that's it then for the news.
Yes, sir.
We got to take a quick break then because when we come back, can you believe what it is?
You know,
compatible time.
Ooh!
Compatible. Compatible.
Game Boy camera. Alrighty, we are back, and it is the return of Compatible, our segment where we go and look back at a Nintendo peripheral from its past.
We put the call out.
What's up?
We put the call out.
Yep, yeah, we put the call out. We got a bunch of really good ideas, and I figured we'd start it out here, and this is going to be a special part 1 of 2 Compatible. Next week we're going to wrap it up, but the first week, that's right now, we're going to start with Game Boy camera, and then next week we're going to look at the printer, since they sort of go hand in hand. But
yeah,
we got some good information here on the camera now.
Yeah, and this was suggested by Lemonade, right?
Yep, it's good old Lemonade from down under.
Woo! Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, of course.
All right, so when was this released?
Alrighty, now the old Game Boy camera came out in Japan February 21st of 1998, and then it made its way to North America on June 1st and PAL regions June 4th of that same year.
That's my birthday?
Nobody cares.
No one
We're
cares,
talking
Bill.
about Game Boy camera, Bill. And it was discontinued in late 2002, so it had a 4-year run.
All the way in 2002?
Yep.
The Game Boy camera was that's crazy.
Yeah, so it had itself a little run. Now, it works with all Game Boys except for the Micro, and it actually even works with the Super Game Boy, which, if those who don't know, that could actually be another compatible episode in its own. That is, you could plug Game Boy cartridges into like a big old Super Nintendo cartridge and then play your games on the TV.
Awesome.
Now,
and it actually came in different colors.
Yes, tell us those colors, Perry.
blue, green, red, yellow, and an only in Japan, clear purple.
Oh, those clear purples are the best.
Yeah,
I really love those translucent casings they used to use a lot.
Yeah. Yep. I think. Yeah. Yeah, they're cool. I like the yellow. I like all the colors.
Well, now,
but yeah,
this,
clear purple's probably the best.
Tell us this limited color that I think is probably the coolest, and I had no idea that that this was a thing.
They had a limited edition Ocarina of Time edition, only available in the U.S. through mail offer from Nintendo Power. I bet Justin has it.
Yeah, probably.
We should ask him.
But like, oh man, I wish I was like more privy back then. Although I guess, you know, back in '98, I probably wouldn't have been able to afford it by myself, you know. But yeah, super cool. I bet that thing's worth $1 quadrillion right now.
Yeah,
but yeah, really cool. Which is
so it's gold. It's a gold camera.
It's funny that it's Ocarina of Time edition and not like Link's Awakening edition. You know, like to go along with the Game Boy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
but yeah. Now this camera, it was pretty beefy. 128 by 128 pixel sensor, CMOS sensor, for what that's worth. And it can store 128 by 112 black and white digital images that use the 4-color palette of the Game Boy. Now, as I said, and this will be next week's topic, it obviously worked in conjunction with the printer, which used thermal paper, which would print those saved images. Now, Nintendo marketed this mostly towards as a lighthearted entertainment device aimed towards children, which, to mess around. And it's just sort of funny to think, Nintendo has always been trying to put cameras on their handhelds. Obviously, with the DS and all that, it became pretty standard. But it's funny that even back then, they were just always trying to sort of play around with that.
I know.
Now, this next tidbit here is pretty cool. In 1999 edition of the Guinness World Record Book, it was the world's smallest digital camera, which obviously,
really,
now that is very much not the case. But isn't that incredible that it held that?
Oh my
distinct
goodness!
honor?
In 1999, it was the smallest digital camera. That is cool, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool bit. And then when you think about it, I mean, the digital camera. I mean, I know now, my digital camera is I think 1080p and shoots nice, but the Game Boy camera is smaller than that. At least the camera part, I guess the back flap is sort of long, but
right.
But yeah, it's pretty cool, and just sort of continuing that discussion of them always sort of trying to get cameras on their devices. There was originally a camera called Game Eye planned for the Game Boy Advance, which would have color photos and then connect with the GameCube, but that never came to fruition. But then eventually with the DSs, they got those cameras on there. So
DSi, yeah.
But now
there you go, the DSi,
the old DSi. Nothing wrong with that puppy. That was sleek system, man.
Dude, heck yeah, so good.
Now let's talk about shooting options, Perry. What could this camera do? I love
talking shoot options.
What could this camera do?
Oh, shoot! It could take pictures. It could. Did you know that it could take pictures?
Woo, thank goodness.
It had a self timer and a time lapse.
Which is pretty crazy when you
Sponsored by Duracell.
Yeah.
Yes, that is cool, and it had trick lenses and a montage panorama and a game face. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I used the Game Boy camera once in my whole life. I need to get one and play around with it if it's still possible.
Oh, I mean, I don't think I ever owned one either. But okay, I don't think they're. I'm gonna check real quick. I'm pretty sure you could get them for a reasonable price. Like the e-reader is pretty cheap. Yeah, like $12. I mean, it doesn't have a box or anything, but $12 it works. It's a red one. 15.
Sure.
So yeah, no, it's definitely affordable.
Yeah, it's cool.
But yeah, what else do we got? We could take pictures. We got time lapse.
Yep, you can do doodles, stamp and paint stuff.
That's pretty cool.
And then it came with mini games too.
Yes, and some of these mini games are actually it's pretty clever. So the mini game was Space Fever 2, which is I guess they actually released Space Fever 1 was like a standalone title.
Okay.
I believe it
That's
was
weird.
for like an arcade, like an old time arcade game. So I've got that up here, yeah, from
That's awesome.
from 1980. So I'm pretty sure
Oh my
it's
goodness.
sort of like I guess maybe a riff off like Space Invaders. You know what I mean? So
Sure, yeah.
this is the sequel to that game, but when you get in there, two spaceships appear, marked B and D. Shooting B will send the games to a ball minigame, and D will send them to a DJ mode, which is open-ended music game. But if you avoid...
That's awesome. This is like
Yeah.
so Nintendo-y. It's like couldn't be more Nintendo-y, you know?
Yeah, because they couldn't ship a game or a device without a game, you know? Like, even though, like,
right.
taking pictures and stuff is the main appeal, you know? Which is cool.
Right.
Now, if you avoid shooting any of either B or D, it'll just start up Space Fever 2, and, like I said, it plays similar to Space Invaders, but if you score 2,000 points, you will unlock another bonus minigame called Run, 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 which is, like I said, it's obtained by getting the 2,000 points in the Space Fever, and then it's the game face, which I guess is sort of like a character within the game, is attached to a cartoon body, and the player races against a mole and a bird to the finish line. By clearing this minigame in under 22 seconds, the credits are unlocked.
That's amazing.
Isn't that... like
That's
you said,
awesome.
good old Nintendo.
Okay, now I have to get this and try it. That sounds amazing. You know what? I wonder... No, it wouldn't work.
What?
On a... Has anyone ever tried a Game Boy camera on like a Retron? I don't think it'd work because I don't think it just does ROMs. It doesn't do.
Well, if you, I don't know how that would work. Like if you plugged in that into like the Game Boy player.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, and if you could do that, but then even the Game Boy, I don't know how to do the Game Boy player.
Yeah, I don't know. Strange.
Because I capture stuff through my Wii with an HDMI converter. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
But-
next up here, we've got some Easter eggs that I thought they're just so bonkers that I figured we'd run through them. If you want to take the first one and then we'll sort of alternate.
If the run button was pressed while the user was on one of the menu screens, the game would sometimes freeze, and an image of a vandalized face would appear with the text, "Who are you running from?" often startling the user with the image.
And then,
What in the world?
and then also during the game, whenever it errors, another vandalized image will appear with a disconcerting, dooming 8-bit tone, usually startling the viewers. And then very rarely it would also appear along with another picture saying, "Don't be so silly."
That is creepy.
Is this so weird?
It's so weird. Apparently, the international version of the game had 3 such faces that would appear during different times, like after system errors.
It's so weird that like I guess maybe the system errors were they must have been somewhat frequent if they planned in all these weird things, you know. The Japanese version had 2 different faces from the international version, including a young girl who is the daughter of one of the
the best
developers.
Or no, not this one.
And with one of being the same between the versions, with one face being the same between the versions. And then you want to take the last bit?
This is amazing. The Japanese version read, "How weak," and "Let me be alone." Usually, however, a different screen that has a picture of Africa and says, "You are now crossing the equator, Jumbo Nintendo."
It's like, what does that even mean?
This is like this is the outlet for Nintendo before they made WarioWare.
Yeah, I mean, I
it's-
can see it. Yeah, that's.
You know?
Oh my god.
That's amazing. See, now I have to get this. So is it it's a cartridge, right?
So yeah, it plugs in the back, and like I said, if you look at it, it has a pretty long back. Cause I don't know. Like I said, I've never actually used one, But I guess how it plugs in, maybe it just hugs along the back of the, like it plugs into the controller, and then just like the rest of it hangs down behind the rest of the system.
Right.
And then then you have like the picture. I mean the camera, obviously. But
yeah, but like you can't play another game with it, right?
No, yeah, no. Yeah, I guess looking at it, maybe I'm looking at the pictures alone. It looks longer than a standard cartridge, which it is because there's a camera on top. But I guess it just sits in the camera thing there, and then the top bit where it says Game Boy camera, and then obviously the actual camera sits on the top.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
But yeah, so no, you can't play other games while you're using this, but.
Interesting.
I definitely would love to check this out, especially, like I said, we'll go over the printer next week, and
yeah, I can't wait to get to part 2 of this 2-part series.
And I think that'll be really interesting, because I'm pretty sure people, like, you could still buy the paper today and go through, like, people print out pictures in 2018 of their Nintendo stuff off their Game Boy player. Or camera, I should say. But yeah, I mean, definitely a cool peripheral that obviously a lot of people know about, and with the camera, it's like, it's weird to see it just take like digitalized versions and put it on the Game Boy there. But it just, like I said, sort of gives you an insight back to, like, Nintendo's always been trying to use these cameras and find interesting ways to make them fun for people to play with.
I know, it's just like they haven't changed a bit, you know, since then. It's just, it doesn't,
it's in their
it
DNA.
sounds like the same exact thing, you know, so very cool.
Yeah, it's, like I said, I always love doing these compatible segments, because there's just so many
very
cool
interesting.
and weird, like the Guinness World Records book. Like that's a really cool piece of information, you know, and like all those weird Easter eggs.
It is.
It's just so cool to look back at like the weird things Nintendo did, and like you said, it's not much change, because. Like you said, look at Labo. Like, that's a pretty freaking weird thing, too. But Nintendo's not afraid to roll the dice sometimes.
Who are you running from?
Don't be scared, Jambo.
That's funny. Well, I believe that ties a bow on compatible, and we'll start to tie the bow on this episode of Talk Nintendo.
Yes, sir. Dude, just a real quick sidebar to jump back into the Game Boy camera here.
Yeah.
Everyone should Google up Game Boy camera disturbing error faces.
Okay.
They're sort of they're petrifying.
Camera.
Like, they're not really like super duper, but like, imagine you didn't know what was going on, all of a sudden you look down and you saw one of those things.
Yeah, that is creepy.
Like, what? Why? Who are you running from? And you got like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's
that's creepy.
You're
Print
weird,
error
Nintendo.
number 2. That is.
You're weird.
These are.
That could be our. That'll probably have to be our thumbnail picture this week.
I think so.
Perfect.
Yes. That's great.
But yes, yeah, I think that'll bring us to the end here. Of course, you can check us out on Twitter at TalkNintendoPod. That's Talk Nintendo
P-O-D.
You can check us out on Nintendo World Report TV. We got our YouTube stuff over there. You got us over Nintendo World Report doing reviews and such. And of course, always on your podcast services every Thursday evening. And yeah, we thank you very much for listening. And I think until next time, poodaloo.
All right. See you next week, Case.
Poodles.
Hey, how's your eye?
Oh, it's actually great. I went for a checkup and the doctor was like, your eye's healing perfectly. He's like, I was surprised. And like, if I close my eye...
Frankly, I thought you were going to go
Frankly,
blind.
I thought you were going to die. It's a little blurry, like if I close my left eye and just look at it my right. But actually, like doing it now, it's not nearly as blurry as it was. So I think we're coming along. to me at least, it's a game you jump in and have fun with, and like, woo! Danny, we need 2 sets of drums ASAP.
And I remember when I was starting out as a young barber, I felt so alone.
Nobody cares, Bill.